One of the issues I see people run into is when they create rounded bars, they have trouble getting the labels just right. So here's an example of sales by subcategory. When I turn on the labels and go ahead and choose line ends and only label the end of the line, I can change the alignment to maybe center horizontal and center vertical. But notice how I can't get the labels inside the end of the rounded bar. Well, here's how you do it. Let's start with a blank sheet and drag subcategory to the rows, sales to the columns. And I'm going to double click in the columns and put in the average of 0. And then I'm going to make that a combined axis view. That brings measure names into the rows. I'm going to change my mark type from automatic to align and move measure names from the rows to the path. Let's go ahead and sort that in descending order, and maybe I'll make the space between the categories a bit bigger. Click on size, and I'm going to drag that maybe as big as it'll go. And there we go. So now, how do we get those labels inside the end of the bar? Well, it's actually quite simple. I'm going to drag sales onto the secondary axis. I'm going to right-click on that axis and synchronize. Right-click on it again, and change the mark type to a Gantt bar. From here, on my marks card, I'm going to click on color. I'm going to drag the opacity down to 0. Then click on label, turn on my mark labels, and align them to the left and to the center. Change the font color to white, and go ahead and tick the allow labels to overlap marks. Right-click on the axis at the top and uncheck show header, and there you have it. You've got perfectly aligned labels inside the end of a rounded bar.